Coaches, we're going to get right into step number 5 underneath getting started, which is script templates. And this is really important. You're going to use your script templates when we're inside of our tiles. Think of this as setting up our Google or our Excel spreadsheet for our columns that we're looking for. We'll use these columns for the tiles, setting up for our practice scripts, our call sheets, and then other things along the way whenever we're going to use a tile. We have 22 data points over here. In this situation, I'm only using about 17 of them or so. I also have 3 special ones that there'll be a quick video that will follow up after that to show you how to use some special data points to use them for the column chooser when we get into our practice script. But don't worry about those right now. Let's just focus on the 17 that we have here. Let me give you a quick example that I have set up previously. Here is down here a practice script. For me, when I go to do a 7-on-7 inside runner team, I always like to start off with hash, down and distance. Love seeing the concept that we're going to be working on. Our personnel, wristband, play. Notice that our play is going to be a multiple of data points. It's going to be the formation, motion, shift, formation, strength, all of the things. Direct your eyes into this area. We'll be using the data merger for that, and then adding just a few extra things out there as well. And then we'll talk about notes at the very end. Notes is an area where you can just put anything that you want inside there. So let's get started with a brand new script. Right away, I would remind you just to use one practice script. I think in the beginning, as you're getting comfortable, set up a practice script that could be used for 7-on-7 inside run team, anything that you would use Monday through Thursday before you get to your game days on whether it's Friday or Saturday. We'll also set up a script that we would use just for our call sheet. Remember now that once we create a play, no matter how many data points it is, we're just telling it what part of the play we want when we're creating these data points. Let's name this to get started off. We're going to call this practice script demo. Going to need to give it a different name so we don't overwrite what we've done previously. For me, I always like to use hash. That's going to be my first column. We can move these up and down at a later date. I'm also going to grab wristband right away. That's going to be my second column. And for me, I also like to have concept as well. You don't have to put that in there. We're going to go ahead and start to put our play together. So it's going to be, for us, the formation strength. Motion's definitely going to be a part of the play call. I noticed that I didn't put personnel in there. We'll go back and put that in a little bit. Play name, we need shift, and I think that's going to be all that we need to create the play. So at this point, I've created several columns. I'd like to combine the play name together. So I'm going to drag these over to the merge column side. Formation strength. Shift is going to come before motion. I'm simply grabbing and dragging. We're going to put motion here and play name. You're going to start to see these get created. Again, it doesn't show you what the full merge is, but again, you guys knowing how you create your plays, can click merge, and then it gives you a real good feel for what that play is going to be here. This is just an example down here. If you don't have any plays inside already because you haven't been to the play wizard, you're not going to see some of these things because there's no data in there. Don't get worried about that. Notice that it says for header, this is going to be a really long name. So I am going to go ahead and hit Control A, pretty typical in Windows, how to clear something out. Go ahead and use all caps, and I'm just going to put play name in there to change that so that my header in this area will not be so long. Okay, remember previously I realized I did not put personnel in, so personnel is not going to be in the spot that I'm looking for, so I'm going to simply click on it and move it up. Again, this is something you're only going to probably do 1 or 2 times in the beginning. You'll modify as needed. All right, I also talked about earlier, we have some other situations. These are going to be special columns. These are drop downs. I'm going to add down and distance. I think defense is important, and scout cards as well. Down and distance is good for me. It's going to get moved way up. In fact, it's the first thing that I do in my call sheet. Whether you put that in there or not, you'll see that that column moved. Defense and card as well. And then we have the notes column. I want to be very clear on the notes column. You can have as many notes columns as you want. So for notes here, these are that you'll type in the script. Think of it just like an empty cell in Sheets or Excel. Anything you want to type in there that's not in our system, you can put in. So I'm going to put notes to players and save that. And then for the last one, I'm going to put in notes to coaches. Get out of the middle of the field, make sure that this certain player is in there, put a red cap or a yellow beanie on somebody, just special notes to the coaches. I've created my concept here for script templates in which I'm going to use for practice. I'll use this same one for 7-on-7 inside run team, anything that I'm doing Monday through Thursday. We're going to go ahead and continue to update. If I wanted to have a similar thing for this, I could click on clone. When I clone this, clone is equal to copy. You'll see that it's here. And if I didn't need the notes to coaches or notes to players on there, I can simply remove these. And now this is going to be a little bit different. So I'm going to go ahead and say notes to coaches, players, get rid of these. It's just going to be a much smaller thing. And in fact, I'm not going to use the wristband as well. And now I'm going to go ahead and call this a Monday install template. Thank you for working with us and completing step 5. Looking forward to working with you on step 6 very soon.